If you're even a bit like me, you play a lot of Hearthstone, and while I still enjoy playing the game a lot, sometimes you just don't have as much fun playing as you used to. Let's go over some things you should do if you want Hearthstone to feel fresher and overall enjoy playing the game more. This first thing is arguably the most important. Don't worry about ranked that much. Seriously, if I find that I'm ever not having fun while playing Hearthstone, it's probably because I'm playing ranked. It's not hard to see why. A lot of things about ranked are frustrating. The best decks in the format can be incredibly annoying to play against, you feel that it's impossible to win and you just lose because of bad luck. Also, getting one win away from hitting legend or a new personal best just to lose a game and spiraling into a string of losses can really put you in a bad mood. That's why I would personally recommend to not worry about ranked that much. Think practically. Do you really need to grind ranked ladder every season? A common place I personally get hard stuck in is between Diamond 5 and Legend. You just face a lot of the same decks in a row and it can be incredibly frustrating to win 3 games and then lose the next 3 right after. While I can eventually get out of there if I put in the time and effort, just ask yourself this: why am I even grinding? Is it for the end of season rewards? Well, if it is, I wouldn't usually do it. In my example specifically, is it worth many hours of grinding and moments of frustration playing games and losing, all just for a single extra pack at the end of the season? I don't think it's worth it, honestly, and sometimes I'm just fine keeping my sanity and accepting a Diamond 3 finish at the end of the season. If you grind for bragging rights or just to prove to yourself that you can hit a high rank, don't overdo it. I find that the more games in a season that I play, the less enjoyment that I get out of them, especially at high ranks. It's really not fun seeing the same decks constantly and knowing exactly which ones you're going to lose to once you queue into them. Just find the perfect balance of games played so you can still find the meta fresh while achieving an end of season rank you're satisfied with. Honestly, don't push yourself if you're really not enjoying ranked at all. The next thing I'd do is try to play more casual games. I honestly think that some of the most fun I've ever had in Hearthstone comes from the casual format. If I ever just want to relax, I'll just play a quick game of casual. That's why I only have casual games as my background footage this time. I can actually play any deck I like without ever running into any meta decks I'd otherwise only see in ranked. This might just be me, but I've honestly never seen a Reno Priest, Secret Mage, or Kingsbane Rogue in casual. I love that. All my funny decks that would only lose me games in ranked are now semi-viable and I don't have to worry about dropping ranks. There is no penalty at all for playing casual. There's only the benefit of both players gaining XP. If I'm ever having an unfun experience in ranked, I'll always just queue a quick game of casual, play something ridiculous like Big Shaman, maybe win, maybe lose. But either way, I have fun in the mode and that's all that really matters to me, and probably all that matters to you as well. You should also be willing to try out new decks and archetypes for cheap. Now, what I mean by this is don't immediately be discouraged by decks seeming expensive, and don't fall into the mistake of thinking all decks are defined by their legendaries. While I will admit a few decks like Renolock are expensive and are defined by their legendaries, but a lot of decks you will see aren't. And if you have just a bit of dust to spare, you can expand your collection, possibly find an archetype you'd be really into, and just have more fun overall as you have all these new cards to try out. Most archetypes are defined by their commons, rares, and epics. Legendaries, most of the time, are just supplementary and can easily be replaced by a cheaper card. For example, Evolve Shaman. To try out the playstyle, all you really need is just any sort of evolve, and cards that either get discounted or summon other minions. You can just throw these into any pre-existing aggro shaman deck you may own, and give a pseudo evolve shaman deck a go. Dead Man's Hand Warrior is also an iconically expensive deck, but the core of it's always just going to be 2 copies of Dead Man's Hand, and any card you want to have infinite copies of. While these budget archetypes you try most likely won't win you many ladder games, you'll easily be able to get enjoyment out of them in casual games as they're much more laid back, and you don't have to worry about the consequence of losing. This actually makes trying new things in Hearthstone really easy. It gives you a good training area to practice your decks that are foreign to you, and you just have a lot of fun doing it. Now, this last thing I do seems extremely obvious, but even I sometimes forget that other modes besides casual and ranked exist, and I would recommend to give some of the other modes in Hearthstone a serious chance. There's lots of things to try out. There's Arena, Battlegrounds, Duels, the weekly Tavern Brawl, and even all the single player content that's been released over the years. Each mode easily offers enough content to keep you entertained for a while once you get bored of normal games. It's honestly just really refreshing to play something like a quick game of Battlegrounds after an hour of grinding ladder. It can feel much more rewarding if you win in a mode you don't play often. Thanks for watching. I hope this video allows you to have more fun while playing Hearthstone and enjoy the game more. Z-Dude out.